Unknown Myers is a very fun matchup here. I wouldn't be able to call this one. Right. Larry's as Unknown. Sorry for the little Dynasty interlude there. Early gen progress. Early chase, Trevor. Just the M1 here before the pallet. Nice, okay. Bit of a win-win that. You go M1 because either the Unknown gets the injury or gets rid of a very important pallet. And might be shunning the UVX here just to go for the chase. Just to go for an M1 chase. Not maybe ideal, but certainly worthwhile. This Trevor doesn't bolt. But leads to a dying state nonetheless. Here we go. Unknown on the board reasonably quickly. Will clearly be needing to use the UVX down the line, but has done what it needs to do. Got that first hook, looking to get this Pop Goes a Weasel build running. Not an incredibly important pallet to kick on the left over there, so Unknown isn't going to. It's a pallet that feels more powerful than it is. There's not too much of a tile on the left-hand side. Using Pop Goes a Weasel. Wouldn't have got to this gen anyway. The good news is, undetectable for the Unknown here could be very important. Going for the UVX in the corner. Oh, they anticipated it. However, the M1 should be on the table. It is. Can they get rid of the weakened? Oh, they do. And the UVX didn't connect anyway. But medium volt, going to be punished every day of the week. It's the second hook in play. Okay. Gens are pretty stationary apart from that one that did unfortunately pop. So I'm not feeling too bad about this if you're the Unknown. Didn't they get people through the wall? Oh yeah. One of the key elements of the UVX is doing so. Trying to get ahead of Rebecca here. See if they anticipate this. They definitely did, and in fact Unknown went entirely in the wrong direction. There's one of the dangers of the teleports. You gotta be aware of your map setup, where everything is. UVX! Oh, it would have been an incredible shot. Didn't quite connect, unfortunately. UVX, again, the miss. Maybe beginning to see why Unknown's been doing so much in the realm of M1s. And that's just too long distance, won't connect there. Okay, bit of a lull. After a reasonably strong start here, bit of a lull for the Unknown. Plenty of opportunities for Bamboozle. Maybe needs to get that out there a bit more. Oh, and they got rid of the weaken. It's a moot point. It's a moot point. In avoiding the weakens, they forgot about the M1. Dying state for the Unknown. It's third of the game. 3 gens left. Needs to get in amongst it. Needs to see more Pop Goes the Weasel value right now. No real movement there. Bit of movement on this gen. Surely someone moving off for the unhook. So Unknown's going to try and cut them off by taking this line. Oh, it's one of the worst UVXs of all time. The tunnel is on here. It might be just simply the best course of action in a situation like this. UVX does connect. They're going to have to start taking some body blocks here. They do not, and that should be another hook barring DS. It's a DC! It's a DC! Rebecca didn't like it. And sees fit to reward the Unknown. That is not the way to dissuade these killers in this tournament. Rack up the DCs, you'll rack up the tunnels, quite frankly. Scratch marks. Is in hot pursuit. Trevor. Injury there. Looking for an opportunity to get the weakened status out there for the UVX. And doesn't need it. Gets the M1. Well, well, well. That DC, the tide may be turning now. He can go basement unknown if it wants to. And it shall. Right, immediately. Back on them. Bill right here. Kate right here. Great UVX. I think the first actual connection of the UVX for the unknown. Oh, knew they were there, but just held back a bit too late. An alley-oop. Looking for a UVX. Oh. Unbelievably close. But not quite. Maybe that little vestigial bit of wall denying the dying state. Circling around, trying to get a sense of where Kate is. Lucky break for Kate. Means that they are gone. Unknown teleports back. Close to the basement. Trevor would be a great find. Rebecca would be a great find as well. Getting anyone out of this game, even a bot, very important. UVX here. Good connection. Another UVX. This might just be the way to play this, you know. There it is, injury. Forces to bot away. Should be a dying state. They're looking back. That's just bot stuff. Don't worry about that. Needn't be dead hard, not necessarily. Getting the hook. Some voices in the stands screaming they were in the bathroom. Unfortunately, no one knows what languages the unknown comprehends, but one of them certainly isn't English. So it is nonplussed. One gen left, 3 survivors left. Now this is tough. This is a tricky situation. Needs that Pop Goes a Weasel, and will get that Pop Goes a Weasel. It speaks English though, so does a parrot. Trying to get ahead of Bill. And Bill changes his path. Very good job there. Went for the hallucination. It's a ridiculously bad play. It gives Unknown another hook. It gives Unknown a shot at a Pop Goes a Weasel kick on that pressure point once again. Undetectability surely playing a part. Right there. Oh, but they get the gen through Pop Goes a Weasel. Okay. It is damage control for the Unknown. Needs a dying state as quickly as possible. Trevor about to pallet. UVX dying state going back for Kate. It's a huge slug situation. He's teleported to the wrong place again. He is thankfully unpunished. Scratch marks in main. Moving off over to the hook. Do they get the unhook? They do. UVX through the window. Gets it on Bill. Back to Bill here. Good stuff this from the Unknown. Good dying state. And finds Kate. If the Unknown can close this down, barring Unbreakable, it will be the 4K and the 12 hook stages. Can it do it? Goes over the pallet. UVX doesn't quite connect. Good stuff from Kate. But it's all over. It's all over, bar the crying. And bar any possible hatch plays. What a clutch locking in moment from the Unknown there. They unexpectedly power through that final gen. But the Unknown turned up the heat. The only issue now being, where on earth are these slugs? It's Larry's. It's not the easiest map on which to find your slugs. Bill entered the dying state roughly around here. Was it this gate or was it the other gate? Unknown's not too sure. And neither's the commentator. No one's abandoning here. They all get the sense that hatch could still be in play. And who could argue with them with the bungle of the slug situation that the Unknown is currently embroiled in? Bill is not a quiet individual. Listening out for Bill as best the Unknown can. But this might be the first bleed out victory, which will count. It will count, no concerns there. Oh, there you go. Okay, Bill discovered. There is an element of risk to this, however. Hooking Bill, it will at some point spawn Hatch in. Maybe the safer course of action to simply bleed out, but Unknown's not going to do it. As Trevor was all the way over here. Can the Unknown find Trevor? Securing the 4K. Listening. Intently. Could be literally anywhere at this point, Trevor. Gotta be methodical with the searches. Bill's moved on. Hatch will spawn. Listening so intently. Hatch is in. Trevor's on the floor, crawling around. Unknown, clearly the faster individual here, has a better shot of finding Hatch. But there's a chance for Trevor. There's a chance for an 11 hook stage game rather than a 12 hook stage game. There's Trevor! And it's all over. It's all over. The Unknown has clutched it out in the end game. GG. Ooh. A very important discovery. Where was Hatch? We may never know. Oh, it was right here. Not a million miles away. This is not yours. That is mine. And it is 12 hook stages. GG. 12 hook stages. Going the way of the Unknown. All to do for Michael. Alright, Mikey Myers needs tier 2. Is stalking, I think, the left calf there. Getting more stalked. Do they realise? They do now. Good stuff. A fair chunk of the way to that tombstone. This is the obsession as well, so good opportunity to get some. Play the food stacks. Yep. Hey, good news. We definitely know where Steve will be at any given point. That's important information. What was I going to say? There we go. Get the hit here. Save us for last stack. Why not? And then if we can get a good number of Save Best for Last stacks, and then Maury Steve, we can keep all of them. Keep all of them, that'd be pretty damn good, right? Get over here, get some more stalk out there, halfway to tier 3, that's great. Get the kick out there. For a Save Best for Last hit here. They don't go window. They would have got it if they'd committed to it. As it stands. Then another hit. Quick recovery. I think we keep on them. I think we need a hook at this point. I know it's bamboozle, by the way, everyone. I do know. Oh! A gift! A gift we sorely needed because this game was moving away. This game was sincerely and diabolically moving away. Pain res hook over here. I think it's necessary to go for it. 2 gens pop, we do not want to see a third, and we very easily could. Okay. That's still regressing, that's great news. Not a bad map. I mean, obviously it's a bad start for us, but in all sincerity, the map is not that bad. There's Steve out in the open. Chase, then give up on the chase. Then go back. Steve, you're feeding a bit too much here. You're feeding just a bit too much here. Get the vault out there. Okay, a 99 tier 3. Let's go for a non-obsession first. Because the issue is we can't accrue stacks if... we can't accrue stacks if our obsession is dead. So I think we want to tombstone someone else. Maria. Could be a good opportunity here. They just flee the tile. They do. Pallet here, presumably. They don't burn it. A kick. But we are properly 99s. Probably for the best that I didn't activate it on that one. Right. Tier 3. Vault after them. They go into a locker, presumably. That's fine if they do. Yep, no issues there. We'll take our hook. And that'll give us pain res. So there's reasons to be cheerful about that. Obviously, the kill would have been better, but this is not a bad consolation prize. In all sincerity. Get the kick. Maybe it is a bit of a confused build this. Save best for last, but tombstone pays, pain res. Are you really going to be getting the most value out of that? Should you not just be enabling pain res a bit more? Maybe, maybe. Works around here. Could be a kill. Oh, it'll be close. Okay, fine. Again, this sincerely isn't that bad. We're not getting the kills, but we are getting repeated hooks. This also does bring the game back somewhat. And we keep play of your food. True, true. And we keep most of the stalk meter, you know? This isn't bad. The only thing is, yeah, we're not getting the save best for last stacks. But the more we play this, the more we're thinking that save the best for last is not really a perk that sees much use or is all that important in this. Gem Pop's over there. Maria and Sable up ahead. Fog Vial, which does not count as stalking. Interesting. Good to know. Get the hit. But then in all sincerity, I think we're trying to make a break for the basement. Ah, they got the unhook very quickly there. That's a shame. I was hoping it'd be just a little bit more delayed. There's Maria, there's Steve. Chase Steve. There it is. Okay, I'll play the food token back. It's 99s. There it is. I think we go for the hook on Rick, and we'll get it. No, we won't. They just get the pallet. What a shame. I think we still want the hook on Rick. That's such an unfortunate swing, because that loses a play for food stack as well. Hook on Rick, and then try and go for a Mori on whoever goes for the save. Again, ideally Maria, but we could really... we need to find anyone at this point. Steve behind us, okay. There's 5 stacks to save best for last. That's pretty good. We never got pain res with Rick, and we will be able to here. Boone back in play. Looking rough for Michael. It is looking very rough for Michael. Remember, that 12 hook stage mark is what he needs. Anything less than that and he's going home with 0 points. Oh, he forgot. He forgot how close he was to Tombstone. Steve, big opportunity here. Getting around. They need to find a vault. If they don't find a vault... Oh, Michael can obviously just bamboozle the vault. Right, this will be a kill. First survivor out of there. And it's not too bad. No play of your food tokens, but this does lock in those 5 save the best for last stacks for Michael. Big gem movement here. Trying to get Tombstone back on Maria. That's the kick. Maria is also the only remaining pain res survivor, so reasons to get the hook here as well. If that is the direction that Michael wanted to go. But there is still so much work to be done. And ground to be gained. Very good for Maria to remember that the other window is bamboozled and to not go there. Oh, but if they made a mistake here. Nope, bamboozle's passed. They get that, Jen. Get as much stalk as you can. It might not be enough. Fogval over here. 3 guesses as to where Sable is. But now, you can stalk, and they can't really see me. Moving in. 2 lights. Don't kill here. In all sincerity. Hook. Hook. And then try and get a Mori on someone else. To Mori there for Michael, I think, would be just to give away the other gate entirely. It's a kill. Well, still worthwhile. But now the issue is... yeah, are they just going to get the other gate with that? Well, if you're Michael, there's not a lot you can do other than pray. Sable's gone. Maria's gone. And just, it feels like a strategic failure from the Michael camp there. An unfocused build, went for Tombstone, but wasn't really enabling Tombstone with the build, and it all fell apart. A worthy victory for the Unknown. So that'll be the win for the Unknown, the loss for Michael. Great start for the Unknown camp. A pretty authoritative victory there. Okay, Pig versus Plague. Pig. Yamaoka. Not the ideal map for Pig. Oh, and not the ideal spawn for our Ruin Totem either. Right there in Shack. Pig will see what she can do. Immediate stealth. The situation calls for some immediate stealth here. Hello, Swee. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Opening chase with Jake. Looking for an early injury here is Pig. Looking to stamp her authority on this one. And we'll get the pallet out there. Nothing wrong with that. Stop and stare. I think I'm moving, but I'm going nowhere. They want a boot, but Pig's not going to do it. Oh, my lord in heaven. One of the advantages that Pig does have is that some survivors immediately assume memes. And she is absolutely going to take advantage of a situation like that. What a start. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's an advantage that the likes of the Unknown and the likes of maybe Oni don't have, but it's part of her arsenal. And she's going to use it. It's pain res. On this tile. Survivor has to be around here somewhere. As there's the unhook and there's make your choice. Okay. Pig moving in. Doesn't know where the survivor is there. Has a much better chance of a dying state if she can find the now exposed Jake Park. On the gen. Ace Visconti on the hat station as well. That was a big opportunity. There we go. Exposed hit on Jake. It'll be 2 hats in play before a single gen has popped. That's outrageous. Now, can Pig get the Paymers hook before that gen over yonder pops? That's what she'll be hoping. Yep, so Paymers there, but now this one's moving. So Pig, using the surveillance intel to keep these gens under pressure. Very, very good work here. There goes Ace. Ace isn't the only person here. Here's Rebecca. Looking for the injury. Just swinging early to anticipate any kind of hesitation on the pallet throw. Gets it. Another injury. And all of a sudden, maybe put some money on the lottery because this Pig is flying. Oh, and there's Ace. Not going to go after Ace. Going to get another hat in play. It's another dying state. Could be another Paymers hook. Outright denying all of the gens here is Pig. Now at this point with 3 hats on heads, maybe you don't mind a gen popping. She's not going to entertain that. She's going to get the hook. And right on back to the gen over here. The one presumably being moved by David. That one moving as well. But David is over here. The gen moving once more. What an intel perk surveillance is. Gets a little bit slept on. But it's doing fantastic work here. Okay. Unreal Engine. Thank you for that one, says Pig. No matter. There's the injury. Pretty absurd. Looking for another dying state. Looking for 4 hats in play at this early juncture. What on earth happened there? Good play from Dave. Not really using the ambush here. Not really needed to use the ambush, but maybe the ambush could be useful at some point in the near future as Dave is playing very tricksy stuff and gets all the way over to Shaq. Volt there for Dave. Vaulting his pig. Oh, good move, good move, good move. Nice, there you go. That's what the ambush is for. And that will be now 3 hats on heads because Ace has removed his. And she's going to get pain res out there. 4 pain res tokens before, not to tempt fate, a single gen has popped. Can she make it happen? She absolutely can. Rebecca right on this hat station. Takes the injury there. They flee the scene and she's going to go over to the gen. Not going to take the chase of Ace. Would rather keep the gens on side here. Although maybe the chase of Ace is the better call in all sincerity. Oh, no injury. Maybe resilience. They're speeding up the vault. Who's to say, regardless. A bit unfortunate, although an embarrassment of riches. So far for Pig. You really can't be upset with a game state like this. Keeping on the chase. Ruin doing its thing. But the gen does pop. That'll be Ace popping it. Now you might need to move off of Jake in all sincerity. Well, never mind. There's a dying state. Dead hard? No. And there it is. Another hook. Another hook. No need to worry about pain res now for Pig. She is absolutely rolling. Unhook over here. David and Rebecca both have active hats. Going after Ace, not a bad idea at all if you can make that happen. But also, letting Ace get the unhook, not a bad idea. Cause is exposed. There is an unhook. There's Dave. Why not another dying state? Why not another dying state? Although maybe you are more interested in this juncture by the Ace. 3 active hats. Ace is the only one without a hat. It just makes sense. So there goes Dave. There is a chance with the crate of gears here, slightly longer time to search for hat stations. There is a chance that you get 1 or 2 hat pops. Could be very important indeed. Dying state there. Remove the hat. Unfortunate. Gonna get the injury on Ace. Looking for it at least. There it is. There it is. Moving around. Trying to keep Ace where the slug is. Keep the game in front of her. Is the Pig. And is she gonna slug? She's gonna slug. She is confirmed going to slug. Knowing as she does that the other 2 can't really move this game in any effective way. They've got to be focusing on hats. Bolt around here. Ooh, not the best of moves from Ace. Now caught in a bit of a dead zone. And dead hard. There it is. Okay. You're going to put... Unbelievable. Okay, fair enough. You're going to put the hat on Ace. And put Ace on the hook. And then, why not go after Jake here? Rebecca and David still needs to find a way to get rid of their hats, and Rebecca's gone. Rebecca's gone. 3 hook states. Chalk it up for the Pig. Dead hard from Dave. Jake moving up ahead, leaving Dave alone. Going in for Jake. It will be a trade here. Dying state there. And up he goes. The Sabo from Ace. Oh, there was Rebecca. Rebecca was thinking of moving in for the save. Not able to. Jake on hook. Ace barring DS. Won't be DS because they were Saboing. Also going on hook here. And then all eyes on Dave. All eyes on Dave. Dave hat pop. Hook for Ace. It's sublime for the Pig. What a return to form. And what a game. 12 hook stages from it. Unbelievable stuff. They all toppled like a house of cards within the same 30-second time period. Absolutely absurd. GG's. Proof the pig needs to be nerfed, and soon. It was adept for Rebecca. I wish them well. I wish them all the best with their adept. Ay. Can any other killer give you 4 deaths in 30 seconds? I don't think so. I don't think so, right? That was absolutely absurd. You know. Very cool idea. Anyway, it's Plague on Coldwind. I'm prattling on about nothing in particular. Looking for full infection here. He actually wasn't infected at all, which is a bit rough. That was a good bit of infection. This could be an injury very soon. There it is. There's the injury. What can Plague do here? Needs a quick dying state. Already this game's going on. This game's state is maybe a bit slower than she'd like. So they get the window. They're not going for the window. They're going around the hill. Soma fully infected as well. And this will be your dying state. Good start. An infectious fright over there. Not sure what that was in aid of. Just celebrating, I suppose. Okay, first hook. No Pamers nearby, unfortunately. Pick the gen, and away she goes. Has Corrupt Purge over here. Could be worth getting that out there early on. The add-on that empowers Corrupt Purge. Faster movement speed, that is noticeable. That is noticeable. Alright, what can she do here? Circling back. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. How's about an alley-oop? Oh, no matter. Unfortunate. None of that connects. None of that connects. It is a tunnel, unfortunately. She didn't go out of her way to do this, but it is happening. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Bit of a nasty start, and they've DC'd, and you can understand why. Just one of those cases of found the wrong person. Let's not beat around the bush. It does help the game state somewhat, and it also gets Pamers out there. But you can understand their annoyance. Goober, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, by the way. Thank you. Okay, so after a regretful tunnel, no doubt about it, Plague's playing a bit nasty. It is a pretty decent game state. Thanatophobia in full swing here. Big penalty to the gens. And Sheva, injured party. Might not be able to find the window here. Takes a wide line. There's your dying state. No infectious fright, so hopefully a carefree pickup. Can you find another pain res hook? Absolutely you can over here. Why do the gumballs look so 2D? They're pretty 2D looking. They're pretty 2D looking, no doubt about it. Okay, on Soma. And shouldn't be able to get the window here. Needed the quick vault. I think it is possible to get the quick vault on that window, but I think it's unbelievably tricky to do so. I did see a video where someone was comparing some of the trickiest quick vaults in the game, and that, making the quick vault happen on that, yeah, rough. Well, after a strong performance from Pig, Plague had to come out swinging, and she absolutely is. A brilliant start for her. 4 hooks in play, 4 gens remaining, and there's the bot. No real need to muck about here, just getting the injury. Keeping on them, hoping that the bot doesn't have too much. Was that a teabag? Doesn't have too much going on, and indeed they don't. No need to yuck about indeed. And there goes the bot. It'll be a 3 survivor game, and just so tough now to see a way back. 1 maybe minor, very minor, positive for the team. Losing that survivor, it means that Thanatophobia is no longer at full strength. I know, small victories. But hey, if the survivors kick it into second gear, who knows, that might mean something. Might be winning the match, but probably won't win favour with the crowd because of the early tunnel. True. Some killers do seek the plaudits from the crowd. Billy's one of them for sure. The used to be perennial underdog who really enjoyed the plaudits he got from the crowd. Some killers are just here to win, and Plague is one of them. And it looks like she will be not getting the win, but getting the draw here. If it continues in this way, and if there's not an upset on Hatch, it'll be 1 point apiece for Pig or Plague. But the game isn't over. Who knows what could happen? I think we've all been there, by the way. Yeah, the pallet burn when you're on the wrong side of it. Sure, we've all done that countless times. Just infecting the cows, I suppose. How revolting. And an injured party around Shaq. Are they taking on Shaq? Are they going for the unhook? They're going for the unhook. Gonna get the Purge out there. Just really tough to counter this. Never mind, they've countered it easily. Really tough to counter this, though. Ow. So sorry. It feels so nasty. It just feels so tough here. It feels like you have such a stranglehold on the game. And indeed, the Plague really does right now. You know, a gen does pop. Still 3 more required. Oh, and it looks like Shaver is pretty much done with this. And honestly, who could blame them? Hook here. This will be Death Hook. Meg might just be focused now on Hatch. No, fair enough. Gets the unhook. The one thing Plague has to remember. Hatch, Killer Shack. Can't let them have it. If you give away Hatch here, you lose. And after all this hard work and all the rough situations and all the enemies she has made, you at least want to come out of this with a hook, you know? Oh, sorry, with a point matching the Pig's hook stage total. And we have intel. Soma on the fountain. Moving around this way. Meg is taking chances. Meg is giving up. Are they going to have an idea? Notions are getting Hatch. It looks like it. Soma's played that very well. Very confusing. Okay. Well, Plague will be forced to go to Shack and shut Hatch. But then, the gate situation, very much in play. Just don't get caught out here if you Plague. There we go. No issues there. Okay. Oh, and they're pretty fortunate gates. No doubt about it, these gates are pretty good. Infecting the panel, knowing exactly the moment that Soma works on that. The only thing now that you're concerned about with Plague, was Soma on the gate immediately? Do they have Wake Up or something? They do not, okay. Infecting the panel. She's not quite done it, she has done it. Okay. And at this point, she just needs to keep an eye on that character portrait. The moment Soma's on the panel, they will become infected. And it'll be all systems go. Could be getting a key here. Scratch marks heading to the shack. Hold on just a second. Oh, scratch marks are here for sure. And there they go. Can she find Soma? She can. And that should be all she wrote for that one. With regrets and with apologies. GG's. Do you know what? Oh, well. Before I reconsidered the Mori, I was already pressing M1. And there we go. Over to the spreadsheet. And it is the first draw, the first tie of the situation. 12 hooks apiece between Pig and Tag. Pig and Plague, sorry. And that will mean, as we resort our table by points and by hooks, both descending, Unknown is on top with 3 points. Pig and Plague, both very dominant performances, 1 point apiece. Myers on the bottom for now. Wasn't able to do enough. Legion still to play. This was the bye round for Legion, so Legion will be back in round 2, making their debut. We finish Group C, we're over to Group D. It will be, big matchups here. Chucky versus Nurse and Trapper versus Twins. And we'll start with Chucky in a very tough matchup here against the Nurse. Chucky on Shelter Woods. What was that, Chucky? Speak up. That's unbelievably quiet. Okay. Immediate hidey-ho mode, looking for a good slice and dice opportunity is the Chucky. The good guy. No gem movement. What a great 3-gen that would be. No one on it right now. And just before it passes, get a slice and dice out there, why not? For the aura reading. Or just for the intel straight up. Here we go. Nicolas Cage. In the tile. Looking for the pallet. Doesn't go for it. Oh, good play, actually. Very good play, but hang on. Nice. The aura reading from the rat poison add-on. So good for Chucky. That'll be a hook and an opportunity to get Pop Goes Weasel out there very early on. And intel with Friends to the End on a survivor who is... What? Huh? That was surprising. Sable should have been right there. Doing that for the aura reading. Okay, and a gen pops. That was very unfortunate. Certainly someone there. Who knows where they went? They presumably were there for the unhook. Much to ponder here for Chucky. No pondering there, just taking the easiest hit of all time into hidey-ho mode in Slice and Dice. Could be a good opportunity here. Good stuff. That's how you come back from an unfortunate non-hook situation there. There's your hook. And aura reading on Sable. No aura reading on Sable, unless they're maybe like hiding behind the gen. Much to ponder. Scratch marks it. And there is Lara. This elusive Sable. Oh, good idea from Chucky. Not quite able to close down the Slice and Dice. Lara. Oh, injury for Chucky. Very fortunate hit there, must be said. He won't mind that one bit. Slice and Dice back out there. He doesn't even need it. M1. Okay. That's what he needed. After some missed opportunities with the possible Sable in the lobby, although who can tell at this point. Gets another hook. Back on the board. And remember, Nurse is the opponent. Really needing to get on the board quickly and put a strong total up there. Obviously, ideally, the 12 hook stages. Sable has finally been discovered. They're over here. Probably not going to get there in time to benefit from the exposed. Although, it did look like they were going into the corner, so... Maybe... Yes, there you go. Okay, so no exposed, but finally finding Sable. Or indeed Siri. Well played. Oh, not quite able to get the hit. Damn shame. Ambitious play. Not quite getting the goods. Losing out on the pocket as a weasel here is Chucky. But getting an injury. And there goes Sable. And there's 3 gens remaining. Was this a good decision from Chucky to go after them? Remains to be seen. Oh, good Slice and Dice. Very good Slice and Dice. And that's exactly the play he's looking for. 4th hook. 3 gens in play. Who becomes the obsession? Nicolas Cage. No intel otherwise. And he does miss out on the 3 gen that we were talking about earlier. They get one of those gens and more power to them. Makes a lot of sense. Is gen moving? It isn't. Oh, there is a survivor here, though. Big opportunity here. Oh, just getting weirdly caught on the tree there. Pallet burn? No, not quite. A little bit of a fake out on the window. He's not going to fall for that. It should be an M1. It is just. He'll be a little bit aggrieved about that hit, possibly. Hold, hold, hold. Good stuff, and that should be a slice and dice hit. Oh, it's a great dead hard. Just a strong perk against Chucky is dead hard. There's no delaying the hit, really, with the slice and dice, not to the degree that you'd need to anyway. Unfortunate. Got to lick your wounds if you're Chucky and move on. Could this do anything? Pivoting around to the right. That's a hell of a play. Well done, Chucky. Not deterred by dead hard. Slice and dice through the window, being unpredictable, getting a dying state, however, punished with a gem. What an interesting game. You need to start focusing down. It's a weirdly fair and just performance, this, from Chucky. Needs to focus on survivors, needs to get some dying states out there, needs to get a death hook out there as soon as possible. Nicolas Cage running on the periphery. Great opportunity this for Chucky. M1. And it's friends to the end. So it's exposed. That is huge. What a find, what a discovery, and what a hook. Okay, 2nd hook stage for Nicolas Cage. And intel over there. They're presumably the person moving in for the save. Can Chucky deny that almost immediately? Looking for it on Siri. Gets a hit on Meg, and in all sincerity, if you're Chucky, maybe it's time to be a bit nasty with it. Has the good guy become a little bit of a stinker? Let's see. He's going for it. Oh no, he's found Siri and Siri alone. And no injury there, what a shame. Okay, getting the kick. Meg is still somewhere out there. Death hook. Deep wounded. Injured. They are presumably not the person getting the gen there. They're probably mending, and they might be mending, I was gonna say upstairs, but it seems that they're down here. Unless this is Siri coming back to take more aggro, which would be very, very irritating. No, it isn't. It's Lara. Amid all of that, it's Lara, and they've got the Rick perk. To rebuild pallets, very intriguing. Oh, it's so unfortunate. It was such a good effort from Chucky. They vault. M1 Chucky is not a situation you want to be. However, he does enough to make it happen. Another hook here. But just not finding that lethal factor, not getting the really valuable death hooks that he needs, and 1 gen left. He really needs to start turning it on. Needs to get Pop Goes a Weasel out there too. That perk has not done anywhere near enough for him. As he can't quite spy, again, can't quite spy Sable. So Sable once more evasive. Gets the kick. Heads back over here. It says Nicolas Cage, who is a really high value target here. Death hook. That's what Chucky will want to be taking advantage of. And Nicolas Cage is not putting up enough resistance here. Big opportunity. It's live! But it doesn't do enough. Slice and dice counters live very effectively there. What an important dying state that could be. If Nicolas Cage gets to that window and then gets away in a 1 gen situation, not getting the benefit of eruption, this is an entirely different game state. Wow. Wow. And there's Lara. Big opportunity for an immediate injury. And he doesn't get it. Good play from Lara. Did what she needed to do. Although, is that a bit greedy on the pallet? Maybe not. It is. There's the injury. Well. Turning the corner is Chucky. Slice and dice on the table. Does Lara anticipate a move like this all the way around? Slice and dice out there. They've left. And Chucky just did not expect that. This could be how he loses this game, everyone. He could have been on the 3 gen. Lara vaults. Siri might have been a bit of a confusing factor there. Lara vaults, expecting Siri to take the hit. Chucky just drops down, and there's your dying state. Siri with a toolbox. Maybe looking for a Sabo. If anything, if you're Chucky, you're delighted that there's no gem movement here. Lara, on hook. And that is a kill. And it is a two survivor situation. And once again, Siri isn't giving all reading, but there they are. There they are, that's unbelievable. A hook here, it will be Siri's second. The game is not over, but the intel from friends to the end could be decisive. And there they are, there's Meg. Sending it immediately. Now it's a race for Hatch. Unless they simply want to go for the unhook, which they might. If you're Chucky, you're happy for them to be moving this way. At this point, you're trying to zone them away from Shaq. It looks like they are. Maybe trying to pivot their way back, but tricky to do. Moving around like this. Good stuff from Chucky. Keeping the game ahead of him. Can they get to the... There's a dead heart! Great restraint from Chucky. Implacable in the face of the dab, and he gets the dying state. Denies the hatch. It'll be 12 hook stages. The best that Nurse can do is get the draw. Well done, Chucky. And Chucky fans dabbing in the stadium, no doubt about it. Shut the hatch, get the blood points, you've earned it. Do you know what? Sometimes we land on some very fun turns of phrase in this tournament. Chucky implacable in the face of the dab. I'm pretty proud of that one. GG. Good luck next. Okay, Glenvow Nurse is an interesting concept, and I think we can do some good stuff here. Nurse blinks. The 4K to beat here. Lots of work to do. And a bit of movement in Gallows. They drop down. AFK Survivor! AFK Survivor! Do they remain AFK? They don't, but it'll be a dying state. You can't give Nurse a gift like that. You really can't. Someone else is here. It's Alan. Injury there. Where does Alan go? The slug's on the table. Of course she's gonna do it. Of course she's gonna do it. Sable! Gamers! Dying state! Hold on just a second. Vittorio takes an injury. She's slugging everyone. She's bloody slugging everyone. Dying state there. Where's Sable? It's an unbelievable start. Where's Sable in all this? She may have... There's Sable! There's Sable! Blink! Injury! It could be all over! Claire's got Unbreakable! Sticking on Sable! Nice, stay there! Vittorio's up! Get a hook! Get a hook. She got too greedy. She's looking for the immediate 4K. She's got to take her hooks, and she will. Oh, dear. Okay. No matter, it's still a fantastically strong start. Injuries across the board. Healing up now. Whereabouts could they be? Oh, that's an unbelievably quick reset. In the saloon. Okay, didn't anticipate that. Go back to the hook. Into a Victoria. Okay. Going for the blind, doesn't get it. Going for the blind again, doesn't get it again. Shame. No doubt about it. Shame. No doubt about it. Okay. Can't get rattled. Can't get rattled if you're Nurse. After a start as strong as the one she had. Not as strong as the one she almost had. Of course. There's healing going on. Just to the right here. No, it's over this side. Oh, she can't quite get through the wall. Damn shame. Nurse is calling. Really could have been good there, but didn't quite find the position to disrupt the heal. Okay, well after all that, it's one hook and a fully healthy team, which honestly feels like a missed opportunity for Nurse. Good injury, good blink there, that's what she needed. Doubling back down, going after Alan. She just panicked. Had the perfect first blink, but not able to capitalize on it. There goes the boon. And again, the nurse cat will be in her ear, telling her, no rattling, no tilting. You got the games playing, it is still a very good start. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. She can't become infatuated with the idea of what almost was. She needs to be focused on what might be. So there goes Jen. Needs to get out of basement. Needs to get out of basement now. Needs to get out of basement. Oh dear. And the headset and the camp growing slightly concerned. Getting up to the gallows. Good bling. Good bling. That's a way to bounce back. As quick and quiet. Into a locker, daddy. Get back up to the gen. That's Claire. Okay, pop goes a weasel out there. No aura reading. They must be in the locker. They must be in this locker. Head on. No. Right, no idea then. No idea. They're pulling rabbits out of hats, this team, and Nurse is struggling to keep up. No one down for the basement save. There's Vittorio. Thinking about it, but now in chase, not able to do so. Another dying state. Well played. If you can get to... Oh, the unhook. Possibly the wrong time for the unhook. It's an awful blink. It's an absolutely horrendous blink, but you are at least going to trade in the basement here and maybe get a little bit more precise, because does Alan still have endurance? No! Wowee. Okay. And it's the same situation that we had before, but Vittorio gets up somehow. That's an unbelievable dodge. Right, you can't be making the same mistakes. So go back, pick up Claire, get the basement hook, and don't allow yourself to be punished in exactly the same way you were if you're Nurse here. Take your hooks. Dying state 4. Alan, somewhere out there. They've crawled away. Just going to try and keep the game ahead of you if you Nurse. Go after Sable here. And a bit of a freebie here. Dying state. Is Vittorio in play for a save? Hopefully not. Alan's up. I'm going to try and make basement happen. It's a bit risky, but they can't really body block unless they get an unhook and then someone uses endurance, which could be the case. But no, they're not here. They're going for a heal. There's your double basement situation. Still 3 gens left, and if you Nurse, you have a slither of progress left for Claire. Why would you be anywhere else but here? If not now, but then when, says the Nurse camp. And they're not going to make this play. And there's Alan. And there's one out. Claire's gone. Oh, unbelievable. Well played from Alan. However... didn't quite get away, so there's the unhook, but an immediate trade to put Alan on hook here. Whispers of boon among the audience, it's possible. Nurse not entirely sure where that would be if so. Doesn't feel like she's going to be punished. It's still a very good game state, and Alan's seen enough. Alan DCs. The writing is on the wall, according to Alan Wake, and he knows a lot about writing. Up to the shack. Didn't want to be up there anyway, says the Nurse. And no one believes her. So they're going for a heal again. Some very quick resets for this team. But to what end? To what end? Where do they go? Nurse is calling. Should have been a slam dunk of a pick, but it's just not quite worked out in the way that Nurse would like. Having said that, obviously still an unbelievably good game state. Likely to be a boon maybe around Saloon. That's where the resets are happening. At the same time, why would you not, as Nurse, usher in a 2 survivor situation? And I don't care who the 2 survivors are. Are you really making a 3-gen situation stick with 2 against Nurse? I find that unlikely. Just can't really give away anti-camp here is the only thing, but no question and that will happen now at this point. There's anti-camp. Okay, just wait for endurance to pass on Alan. Okay, it's an unfortunate situation. Almost comedic in its misfortune. Just back on the bot. Keep this game on side. Alright, the hook over here. So, Vittorio, the injured party. Sable also around. They heal up again. Gotta be Saloon where they're healing. There's your boon. There's the troubling boon. That's caused so much grief. In fact, it is a double boon situation. One, presumably up here. Yes, indeed. Okay, that begins to make a lot of sense. And there goes their gen. Well, just make sure you have a survivor in front of you. It's that simple. And there we go, we find Sable. As long as Nurse has even the most perfunctory of chases with Sable here, she's got a chance. Would have loved that injury, it's not quite going to happen. Okay. Again, just keep her away from the walled area as much as possible. Good injury. Really, really important injury. There's a boon back, but at this stage in the game, anything other than gem progress, you are delighted with if you Nurse. And there you go. Hook here. See what hook stage Sable's on. There's a chance it's Death Hook. If so, back to Shack immediately. Deny this hatch. It is Death Hook. Back to Shack. Do they remember the offering? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, you're safe for now. But there is still the gates to play for here. And they're not amazing gates for Nurse. Boon's still here. Do you know what? Why not get rid of it while you're in the area? Have a glance there, move back. These are possibly the worst gates you could conceive of as Nurse. No movement there, getting a blink over here. No lights, okay, come back. That's got to be the patrol for Nurse. Walk over here, look, and then blink back as quickly as possible. Feels like a decent enough patrol. See if she can get the goods with it. Very, very important gate situation, this. No doubt about it. There they are, okay. Huge. Huge, huge intel. There's the injury. And there's a dying state. It's a draw. 12 hook stages apiece for Chucky and for Nurse. GG. Just the most unbelievable of starts. A damn good recovery from the team. But she's able to persevere. There's your 4K. Whew. I refuse to play with a killer that plays this way. No skill. Blocked. No respect for killers who play like this, lol. Camping Shack is nuts. Hello. With Slate's face on too. That's my... That's it. Oh, Jesus. That's my face. I'm sorry you didn't have a fun time. We're not here to make friends. We're here to play video games and then put the results into a spreadsheet at the age of 31 years old. Chucky gets 12 hook stages. Nurse matches it, securing a point for each. We go now to Trapper versus Twins. Alright. We're going in one Trapper immediately. We found the cluster of survivors. That's pretty good. Trying to get a dying state as soon as possible here. As Rick gets to the pallet, moving around. Just no hesitation. And if it's a fake, it's an M1. There you go. Good stuff. Someone vaulted the pallet there. Hello. Okay, well, you know where you're going next if you're Trapper. Maybe you could have gone for the M1. Here with agitation. Right, so get some traps out there. One on the pallet. Get the haste. Trying to see where they went. Not able to find them, that's okay. Get back here. Aha, as they moved into the save. Why not go after this, right? Ah, it's unfortunate. Okay, they were there and they did know where the trap went, so we might have wasted a trap a little bit. Who knows? Maybe they forget about it in the future. Nice. Yeah, good stuff. Little moonwalk there. Had them confused about where we were going. And that gets us another dying state. Good stuff for Trapper this. Not doing stuff with traps necessarily. But taking some good M1 chases. Can trap the window here. And maybe just kick this pallet. Manage the tile in that way. One could consider trapping the bus, making that a bit scary for them. Trap on this corner could be good. The one thing you need to consider if you are Trapper here, maybe keep at least a couple of traps for the end game. Get the panels trapped up. That could be very important. Big gem movement here. Enough time for Pop Goes a Weasel, there is. Good use of it. Good stuff there. Ooh, not quite getting the hit. It was so close there. Agonizing recovery. But there you go. There's a dying state. Good stuff this from Trapper. Good bit of gem regression here. That'll keep on regressing, of course. If this team isn't on comms, there could be something to be said for a trap pretty near the hook. But you're not too sure of that if you're Trapper. What you will do is set up this early doors. While you're in the vicinity, why not get the trap on the panel? Head over here, put on some pressure. Maybe get a kick here. May let you not see them over here. But of course you have. Ooh. Unfortunate. Still getting the injury. Good stuff from Trapper. Been a pretty efficient game, all things considered. Rick's taking a weird line there. Very weird line. That gives up the dying state. No quick vault for you. Not from that angle. Okay. Feeling very good about this if you're Trapper. Some mighty fine M1s. The only thing, again, maybe you need to set up the map a little bit more. Maybe like a trap in here could be good. Remember, needs to be a little bit more choosy about where these traps go with the Trapper sack. Once the trap is down, it cannot be moved. But with all that said and done, he's chosen some good positions. There's one over here. They just see it. Oh, they're able to move around it. You know what? If you're Meg, you're going to be loving life after a situation like that. Fair play to them. Pop goes a weasel. Get this gem regressing. Maybe set up the exit gate panel with the trap. He's embarrassed. Trapper Camp's embarrassed, but they will be telling him, don't worry about that. These things happen. Don't let it affect the rest of your game. And he won't. He's a consummate professional. He's Trapper, and he won't worry about a silly little thing like that. Moving in. Both panels are trapped for the prospective endgame. Injury there for Meg. They just held up a little bit too long. Right. Trying to push them around this side. Do they see the trap? They do not. They do not. Okay. There we go. Good value from that trap. Big eruption hit. No, there's no eruption. I don't know what the I don't know what that noise was then. There just happened to be a blown skill check at the same time, I suppose. Losing a gen. It is this one. No surprises there. That's been a pressure point for quite a while. Maybe head over. Reset this. Then back to work. Back to work for Trapper. Just off the hook, running directly at the Trapper. That's going to be a back-to-Meg situation every day of the week, especially with everyone else being healthy. They had enough endurance to tank it. Fair play. Okay. Back on the gens is Trapper. Not worried about a situation like that. Gen movement here. There's a slither. Pop goes a weasel. Do you get this kickoff? Not quite. Damn shame. You thought there was maybe a chance of brutal strength. Show Red Stain come back. And they're not buying it, and fair play to them. Oh, just caught on the side. They don't burn the pallet. That could be risky if you're Daryl. Move around. Just kick. Brutal strength's great for these situations. Daryl keeps on moving in the corner. Come back around. Not a bad move at all. Hang on. Oh, Daryl was not worried about that whatsoever. Don't kick this if you're Trapper. It's a tile that you can walk around and get the M1 still. Bloodlust there, very important. Dead hard. 2 gens left. 6 hooks in play. What a different game state it would be if Meg had like a second less endurance, because that's first hook for Daryl. That's not going to move the needle in any real appreciable way. No gen movement here. Could be garage. This has been a constant pressure point. Big opportunity for Pop Goes a Weasel. Meg's going to try and commit. They're not going to be able to. Injury here. No pallet there. Got to be a kick. No doubt about that. Then back on them immediately. Someone over there. Meg moving in for the unhook. That's so risky. They're going to keep on moving in for the unhook. And this will be at least second hook. Dead hard in play. There it is. Excuse me, Daryl. Excuse me, Daryl. The longer Daryl stays for the body block, the more we might have a 2 dying state situation. There it is. Meg's still here. Brutal strength kick. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Exactly the game state you needed for Trapper. Got Dead Hard out there. Clearly. No chance of decisive strike after the unhook. But another gen does pop. They're just keeping the pressure up here. Meg is done. That is fantastic news. Daryl going to be second hook here. And then all of a sudden, you're looking ahead to the end game. Both panels are trapped. Maybe thinking about no way out here. Maybe that would have been a bit better than possibly nowhere to hide, which has, in all honesty, been a bit of a damp squib of a perk. Ah, they're not going to get the gen. Wow, the lack of commitment from Rick there could be ruinous for this team. That's unbelievable. He'll get the window. There's an injury. Unhook over there. They're going to try and move in for the gen. Make like we haven't seen them, but just hold, hold, hold. Would have been ideal if we would have got that pallet as well, but no matter. Injury here. And they have taken a surprising line around the left-hand side. That'll be a dying state. Just got to wait out Dead Hard here. Not quite able to wait out Dead Hard. Unbelievable work from them. Dead Hard. Dying state there. A very important hook. And that Pop Goes a Weasel kick should have done enough to keep this gem from popping. Is there another backup gem for Rick and for Daryl? Still regressing here. Huge work. Huge work. Quickly reset this. Speed boost, not to be sniffed at. We'll be able to get a visual check on this gen, and there is not much movement. Not any movement, in fact, but were there scratch marks? There's a hill going on somewhere. Injured party to the left. But this is a great Pop Goes a Weasel situation. They're just lacking that commitment. I don't know who it is, but someone is fearful of popping a gen. Moving in for the unhook, but Trapper has got the game under control with Pop Goes a Weasel. Injury on Rick. And everyone on Death Hook now. No chance of DS. Rick got the unhook. Flashbang. It was very well timed, because it had to be split second perfect there. In the end, just a little bit early, but not a million miles away. All of a sudden. Head on. Decisive? It seems like decisive, doesn't it? That seems like a decisive strike play. Oh! And it counts because we started to pick up before the gem popped. In my mind, I was thinking, is there any chance that the Trapper is saved by the gem pop? But no, so DS goes through. All of a sudden, Daryl has it in his power to deny the 12 hook stages with gate progress. The gate panels are in play. If you're Trapper, you've got to be thinking about when to pivot away. And there, it's Daryl in a trap. If they free themselves, they're dying state, so they're done. They're done, unless they've got Unbreakable or something. What a situation for Trapper. Just Alita now, who's been such an exceptional looper. But they can't do it all. And there's your dying state. Was that the beginning of a Dead Hard animation there? Trapper may have been saved. Trapper may have been saved by hit registration. Hook there, over to Daryl. Wow. What a close matchup. Now though, where's Daryl? There he is, GG. Well played, GG's. Trash team. Weirdo Trapper. Thanks. Who plays him? Weirdo. Thanks. Weirdo teammate. Oh, Daryl's getting on the action. Twins in Badham. Oh dear. Let's get Victor out immediately. Oh, and there you go, Leon. Great start. I'm hoping to close the chase down soon. If you're Leon, you're probably wanting to go... You've probably gone through the school to the vault. There's a chance. Hang on. Immediate drop. Vaulting, and unfortunately, we've simply cleared the way for Leon to leave there. So Victor's out there, looking to close down this chase. And there is Leon. And that is rubbish from Victor. An ignoble start to his tournament. But there you go, there's a dying state. Plonk Victor down here. Charlotte back in action. And, you know, could have been a quicker dying state, but not a horrendous start. And she can do a bit of map management while she's here, why not? As Leon crawls out of Victor's effective range. Here he is, and here's your opening hook. It's the fence's fault, you're right, you're right. Am I bad at twins? No, it's the fence that is wrong. Hook here. Game on, get Victor out there as soon as possible. Plonk Charlotte. Check on Shaq. This gen, okay. How about Pop Goes Weasel, then Victor? All depends on how far away the survivor gets here. No scratch marks. Boone? Boone in play here? There's Arella. That's Pallet. Doesn't look like a Boone. Not sure what was going on there. Very ambitious swing from Charlotte. Won't quite do the business with that. Put Charlotte here. Send Victor over here and see what happens. Could be a good opportunity here. Nice. Now, the question becomes... Okay, Arella sticks on the tile, so another injury forthcoming, possibly. Good play, honestly, to keep on going. The effective lunge still gets the goods. Another kick. There's oppression. 3 injured parties now. There's been a lot of trying to focus down targets so far this tournament. Twins taking a different approach. Going wide, spreading injuries. It's risky, but it can be effective. See how this goes. So Cheryl has a good line there. Leon trying to stop the regression. Might be taking an injury in the process. Getting Victor back. And pallet drop. Good stuff from Leon. Really expected the pallet to be burnt. There. With how they've been playing up to this point, but wise of them to hold off. Injured party by this gen. It's Claudette. Sprint burst there is good for them. It'll get them to the pallet. They might not burn. Oh, they don't. And coup de grace saves Charlotte there, because that was going to be a whiff of a normal lunge. But there goes another gen. It's a 2-gen situation. And the strategy of spreading injuries going wide has to be said, not really working out for Charlotte so far. Victor's out there. Oh, and immediate possibilities for a dying state. Arella, there it is. Do they kick? They do. But Charlotte's close enough that they won't be able to heal out of this one. And Cheryl wisely not going to try. There's your second hook. Sorry, your third hook for the Twins. Is they going to try and move in for the save? How quickly can you get Victor out there? Not quickly enough, so you're going to have to pressure this with Charlotte, which is fine. They can do that. And then Victor to close it down seems like a good idea. So there he goes. Cheryl moving away. Big long-range hit would do the business, but maybe you don't want to risk it. Getting close, charging the pounce, being patient. And there it is. Good stuff from Victor. And just going to plonk himself down there. Take this hook. This is more of the game state that the Twins would have wanted, but you would have wanted it with maybe 3 or 4 gens on the board. As it stands, you've still got a lot of ground to make up here. What you can do is get Pop Goes a Weasel and call Victor there. And see what gen you want to keep on top of. That's a damn shame. Would have loved to use Pop Goes a Weasel on it, and that was the intention for Charlotte. But the gen completes. Into party, Leon! Okay, well that's a good consolation prize. You lose the gem, but you get the hook, and it'll be Leon's second, and a nice silhouette there of the pickup. Thank you for that. Very cinematic. Hook here. It is a very nasty 3-gen. Victor's out there. Needs to be focusing down some of these key targets at this point. Cheryl is definitely one of them. Oh, just get around the fence. Good night save. Okay. Now, is that death hook or is that second hook for Cheryl? For the life of me, I can't remember. Get it done, Vic. Good stuff from the lad. And remember as well, that Blood Warden pick may have been prophetic here. It is second hook for Cheryl. You might be relying on that for this endgame. Checking on Shaq. No movement. Checking on House. Leon. Forming a welcoming party. Really does imply there's some movement here. And there really isn't. But what you can do is maybe have Charlotte blocking off that gen entirely. Have Victor go over to the gen over here. Incredibly fast heal for Cheryl. I wonder if Resurgence is in play there. Big movement. Got to put a stop to it. Oh, there they are. Okay. Sprint Burst won't do a lot against Victor. You're fast, but he's faster. And there is Victor. Good connection. No one on this gen. Good positioning from Charlotte. Forces this customer away. Oh, in fact, they were running into the house, unfortunately. No matter. Head back over here. Get the kick. You would have much preferred a Pop Goes a Weasel kick. Oh, and you might get a Pop Goes Weasel kick. Hold on, hold on. They keep on running. They do not. So, looking for a hook before they get to the car. And you'll get it, barring dead hard. Great stuff. This is risky, so maybe Cheryl gets on the gem, maybe Leon gets on the gem, but if neither of them do, this stalls the game significantly. Second hook. Massive Pop Goes a Weasel kick. And then a blown skill check in the house, so that's where they are. I think send Victor that way. Oh, and they get the gen? Was it this gen? That's unbelievable. Or maybe they did pivot to Shaq. Well, it's a damn shame, I'll tell you that much. Okay, there's Cheryl. Good hit with Victor. Unhook. Behind us, around here. And just remember, you've still got Blood Warden. With the 12 hook stages required, really the only hope at this point for twins is that Blood Warden play. How many lights here? One light. One light, huh? Taking the M1 chase for now. Keeping the game in front of them. And that was a pretty decent move. Window there, but it will be an injury. Keeping on them. You're hoping for a relatively early gate opening. Such that you can chase Claudette, and Claudette not Death Hook here. You gotta go with Victor here. You need to chase someone who is not Death Hook. Okay, this is perfect, actually. This is absolutely perfect. That keeps Claudette there. I mean, the moment anyone now leaves, it is all over. But if they stay in the trial, there is a chance that you can get the Blood Warden 4K. You're waiting for that timer to move down. They're sprint bursting. Oh, there could be someone here to take a hit. There's Leon, and Leon doesn't actually block us in. It's a missed opportunity with the body block. The issue is, how long can you keep Claudette in the trial? You got to pick up here. You might re-slug, is the thing. You're gonna re-slug. Go after Leon. If you can trade dying states here, that would be ideal. Okay. Head back. The only hope is that they unhook quickly enough that a minute passes, but you've got to get the hook is the thing. You've got to get the damn hook is the thing. Sabo! It won't work. Unhook immediately. If they unhook immediately, there's a chance. But they need to unhook immediately. Oh, it's gonna be tight. I don't know. I don't know now. The difference maker is, does the endgame collapse pass before Blood Warden passes? It's the difference between a loss and a draw for the twins. They need the 4K. That endgame timer, does it pass before Blood Warden passes? I think so, but it's going to be so close for the twins here. It's going to be so unbelievably close. Look at that top meter. Look how it moves. Look at the bottom right. Look at Blood Warden. You've got 20 seconds-ish. 15 seconds now left on Blood Warden. That's coming to a close. The timer up top is moving. It's going to be unbelievably close. It's going to be ridiculously close. But I think, just barely, the twins are going to lose out. Oh, they are. There was less than a second in it. But a potential 4K becomes a 4E. They left it all on the table. There was such little else they could do. Ha 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 ha, says Claudette, and they're right to laugh, because that was unbelievably close. Suck it. Okay, they're less right to say that. GG, well played. Good luck with next. Oh, dearie me. Close one. And there you go. That's what Group D looks like. Trapper has the sole lead of Group D. And who would have saw that coming? What? No, they don't. Yes, they do. Yeah, Trapper gets to win against Twins. Chucky and Nurse tie it up. Huge underdog win for Trapper there, yeah. Very, very good stuff from him.